Hi, welcome to my Substack episode 1, Musings with Mookie. I want to introduce myself first and foremost that I'm not a philosopher, though I feel I have some of the qualities of being a philosopher without actually going to college. Did Socrates or Plato's have college? What was their academic achievements? I'm sure in future episodes we'll get into greater detail. But for right now, I want to introduce myself. I am a 3-time published author. Well, 4 if you consider the zine I did in the UK. I have performed on several different stages, outside, inside. I've done openings for art galleries. For one particular gallery, Triangle Arts in Macon, I did an inspired poem for the opening of their gallery. I am close to being middle age, or I am middle age. I have a tendency for there's a tendency for people to say I look younger and to treat me as such, and that is not necessarily a bad thing. But if you already been through the rigmarole of people not giving you a semblance of respect or treating you as if you are inept or you don't know things, then you can see how that can become a problem. The 3 books that I did publish, to include the one poem that was published in the UK, are all poetry related. At this time, I'm working on writing an autobiography, which, of course, could be or would be branched out into a memoir or 3. I have a varied life. I've done so many things, or have been through so many things, that it's hard to pinpoint, at least for myself, what I really am good at because of all the things I have been involved in. I used to volunteer on the regular when I was younger. I've had so many varied work experiences that there are a lot to name. I can say I've done janitorial services. I have been a ceremony officer. I have done drill and ceremony. I have competed in intramural sports as a way to bring the organization together, to aid in camaraderie. I've been an inspector of all sorts, either by volunteering or voluntold. I have done briefings. I have written documents I didn't necessarily, or rather guides I necessarily didn't want to do. I've done so many things. The majority of the larger part of my work history has been administrative, but I have worked in grocery stores, or 1 or 2. I would say 2. I've worked in at least 2 fast food restaurants. But right now I'm a writer. I enjoy writing. I enjoy what is developed from my writing, what emotions that involve. I want to be able to talk to the collective through my writing, where some things that I write about are of focused interest, and other things that I write about, even though my things that I do write about that are of focused interest, I want them to be able to be felt across different groups of people. I don't like using race, the word race itself, because that isn't We humans aren't separated by a race. That's not how the scientific method actually works. We aren't a different class of each other. We are family. So we are family through and through. So I mean to talk with my writing, talk to the collective, not just the individual group. I want to say that I haven't been able to focus on my own background to a degree as you have seen other people. My words and how I write for the collective because feeling is done by everyone. No matter how much, no matter how little, it's done by everyone. You stubbing your toe could be the equivalent of me jamming my finger. You've only experienced the jamming of your toe, and I might have experienced the jamming of my toe and my finger, and I could tell you that jamming your finger would hurt more. But that's my experience. Whereas you say, well, my greatest pain, and it has been very painful, is jamming my toe. And so yeah, this is just musings of myself, Mookie Toujours. My pen name, for the most part, will be my author's name. As I take you on this journey with me, I hope that I am clear, or I become more clear. Right now, I'm writing up episodes I want to engage in. I'll be reading poems, especially if they fit my episodes that I'm drafting. Especially, I do want to expand on my poetry because I think that's a big part of getting people to understand poetry, because it's not a book. It's a few lines of prose that is written out in a way that the author wants you to read them. Mine don't contain all of the beats and the breaks, all of the stops. It almost makes you feel like you have to rush to read them. But my goal is for you to find the rhythm in what I wrote. And that is such an artistic move of mine. Artists have that selfishness about themselves that they want you to figure it out. These aren't Harvard critique poetry. This isn't edited to the gods. It's edited so that all the words are understood. And with my 3 books, I will have to say they are not perfect, even in the editing. When I go back to read them, where I thought I had did my best, but they are great works of mine. I truly enjoy what I have written. I have really given a lot to my writing, even though sometimes it doesn't take me that long to bring up about 10 lines. It really depends on how inspired I am at the moment. I hope my 4th book, which will be some of my deepest work because it is a focused work on one particular topic, and that is romantic love. I can't tell you, it was never meant to be familial love or friendship love. If you find one of the poems in this 4th book that's coming up, that's not out yet, and you want to apply to a friendship, then so be it. Words are for everyone. But yes, as I was saying, I have the 3 books. If I decide to post this podcast, Those 3 books will, to promote the launch of my 4th book, will be free for this month, August, and September. For July, it is free on Amazon Kindle from the 15th through the 19th of July. That is just next week. So, starting Tuesday, I'm excited about what my future holds for me amongst the chaos that I'm in. So, hopefully I'll have a sign-off message. I'm working all of that out. But thank you for listening for my introductory podcast of Musings by Mookie, the poet. Enjoy your day.